Coming up next on Turnpike Music Garage, Brian Kelly from the band Talking the Walls is going to give us some tips on how to get a great live recording of your band. Then we're going to take a closer look at using wireless mics and guitar packs. All that and more coming up. I'm Don Smith and you're watching Turnpike Music Garage, a show that gets under the hood of live music, so stick around. Hi everybody and welcome to Turnpike Music Garage, where with each episode we're going to roll up our sleeves and take a more in-depth look at some aspect of live music. You know, a couple of years ago I tried recording my band live. It was a disaster, mainly because there turned out to be so many things we just didn't understand about live recording. So on today's mic check, we're in the garage with my friend Brian Kelly from the band Talking the Walls, but Brian also operates Echo Station Recording Studios in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and has one of the most extensive live recording resumes that I've ever seen. In fact, when it finally came time for us to record our demo, Brian was the guy we went to. Welcome to the garage, Brian. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Don. Thank you.
So listen, I was thinking about how we could tackle this huge topic of live recording in a short amount of time that we have, and it occurred to me that if you were to give me like your three most important do's and your three most important don'ts, you could probably get some good information for the folks out there who want to get a good live recording of their band. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, and it is such a huge topic. There's so much to cover, but without going into the specifics of the technical thing, because everyone's got their own way of doing that, I think the first do would be to pick a venue you're going to do well at. You know, don't worry about sonic quality. A venue you're going to draw well at, you're going to play well at. You know the staff because you're going to be asking them a lot of favors. You want to do a good show first and foremost. The second thing is be prepared. Whether it's showing up early at the gig so you can do what's essentially going to be 2 sound checks. And you want to be able to go through things in advance with your engineer so that they know exactly what you're looking for. The third thing, to get a little bit into the technical part, is mic everything that you've got. You can always not use it. You want to capture everything. And that includes making sure you get some mics in the audience. You want to be able to capture, you know, the vibe of the room as it's coming off the stage, the way they're hearing it, and you want to be able to pick them up because a rowdy audience is always going to make it sound good.
Well, how about the three most important don'ts? That's probably a trickier
The first don't,
topic.
I think that a lot of people make the mistake early on, is asking your sound guy to also be a recording engineer. You can't split your brain that way. It's too much to focus on, and your sound guy will really resent it if you even think of asking him that. Second is don't try anything new. Unless you're like Fish or a jam band, you know, jazz or something like that, and you thrive in that chaos, get everything ironed out before the show. Your arrangements, even the set list and everything, run it all through before you get there. So you don't have to worry about surprises. There's enough surprises in live music. And the third is don't play without more backups than you'd even normally use. That includes like bass, you know, strings break, what have you. And if you play wireless, what I do is I keep a cable in the back of my amp so that if my wireless on my guitar ever goes, I can just grab that and ditch the wireless. You want to play with backups for everything.
So what I'm actually kind of hearing too in all of this is that in the end, it's about putting on a really good show.
Yeah, that's got to come first.
Yeah, okay, cool. Listen, man, thanks for being here with some great information. Up next, we've got Guitar Tech. We're going to take a look at wireless mics after the break, so stick around. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Smith, and I bet you didn't know that we actually shoot this show in my store in Fairfield, Connecticut. We've got guitars, amplifiers, supplies, accessories. We teach, we repair. We're a full-service music store. Come on down and see us. I started using wireless microphones a couple of years ago, right after our lead singer took a walk off the stage and pulled over the rest of our mics with his cord. Even though we lost a couple of really expensive mics that day, it turned out to be a great time for us to look at wireless. The best thing about using wireless, besides the mobility it gave our singer, was how much easier it was to set up a show. I didn't have to run wires all over the place, and I could preset and rack mount the receivers, and the sound quality was just as good as the wired rigs that I've been using. But there were some surprises, so on today's Guitar Tech, we're going to take a closer look, which is what we do in the garage, at wireless technology and give you some tips on how to use it. A basic wireless rig consists of a transmitter, which could be a microphone, like this, or a body pack, which either a lavalier mic or a guitar plug cable can go into. And a receiver, like this. Generally with 2 antennas, you need 2. If you get one with 1, you're going to have problems. These operate on either UHF, which is ultra high frequency, or VHF, which is very high frequency. VHF is the older technology, and many of those systems that were built on VHF are single channel systems. Interestingly, the manufacturers only offer 3 to 5 frequencies in their entire line, so once you're using number 6, you're going to have crosstalk and not be able to use it. But with more money comes more flexibility. Units like this are switch selectable. This one has 4. You can get programmable ones up to 256 channels. So if you happen to be near a venue that is a taxi stand or a police station and you're listening to your latest robbery in progress, you can change the channel and get a clean frequency to operate on. Remember though that the transmitters are battery operated. So keep a lot of batteries on hand, otherwise you're playing instrumentally. That does it for this edition of Guitar Tech. We got a really fun question for you up next in our mailbag. In today's mailbag, we have a question from Randy in Norwalk who writes, I'm starting to get a little frustrated with my guitar rig. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes when I'm out on a gig, I get a real bad hum through my rig. Is there something wrong with my guitar or my amp, or is there some other reason why I'm hearing that noise? Wow, Randy, that's a really good question. Sometimes fluorescent lighting on a gig can translate as hum through your guitar's electronics, and you can shield for that. The way you test for it is to wear your guitar and turn side to side. If the hum changes or goes away as you're moving, then chances are you're picking up ambient electrical static in the air. If it doesn't go away, then you quite possibly have a ground fault in your either cable, your guitar, or your amplifier. And you check for that by first changing out your cable. If the hum goes away, then fine. If not, then try playing your guitar through a different amp. If the hum goes away, then it's your amp and you should get it serviced immediately. Otherwise, you could be in for a shock, quite literally. I hope that helps. Keep those questions coming. And if you'd like me to answer a question about playing live, or if you have a suggestion for an episode topic, you can email me at don@turnpikemusicgarage.com. While you're at it, check out our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. That wraps up another edition of Turnpike Music Garage. I'd like to thank my guest, Brian Kelly from Talking to Walls, for sharing his live recording insights and experience with us. I'm Don Smith, and I had a blast. I hope you did too. See you next time, and remember, you're not living if you're not playing live.